Yes. Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight for Discussions with Dereck. In today's episode, we will be discussing Carmelo Anthony's Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised, a memoir of survival and hope. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the 26th installment of the WhattaPlay Podcast. As you can see, co-host Jalen is not joining me here tonight. Not to fret, not to worry though. He has not been terminated. He has not been future endeavored. He has not been released from contract. We have yet to find another podcast that would want to take him. The trade market just isn't that high. But anyways, this is the 26th episode, as I have previously stated. So let's get into who are some notable 26s in sports, as per usual. Believe you got your boy Adrian Peterson. He's up there. MLB, we got Wade Boogs. I'm not very good with names. Leveon Bell, and how could I forget one of the former Steelers / Ravens in Rod Woodson. So that said, this is the 100 sub special. I know we are sitting at 111 subs right now, but we have yet to get around to the 100 sub special. So me and co-host Jalen talked about it. I'm going to be the one handling all that. So I figured it'd be fun to go through, look at some of the old WhattaPlay episodes, react to those, and yada yada. So that said, let's get into it. And also, I'm going to be thanking some of our subscribers as well. Foremost, because there's far too many to name. I won't name a couple, but anybody who's also part of the podcast family, who has a podcast, who is subscribed to the WhattaPlay channel, from me and co-host Jalen, we thank y'all very much. We appreciate the love and support. Y'all keep grinding. Y'all keep doing y'all's things. But let's get into episode 1. So in this episode right here, you can see we did not know what the hell we were doing, man. We were watching the NFL. Let me pause this real quick. So we were watching the Ravens-Bills playoff game. I was hype off the Ravens winning, and we had been talking about starting a podcast and whatnot like a year or so before this even came out. And yeah, we went outside. We had two, them green patio chairs that sit on like your grandparents' back porch. Yeah, we had those, a rickety table, no mics, like the mic I'm using right now, we did not have. And yeah, but the scenery right here, I do like this. I was inspired. It reminded me of back home. I'm from Baltimore. I never claimed to be a Texas baby. I never claimed to be a Texas man. I'm from Maryland, born and raised. Also, shout out all my Maryland peeps. Shout out all my Texas peeps too, and anybody else we have watching from anywhere else. So that said, I believe in this episode we talked about jersey grails and fails. I will tell y'all right now, my jersey grail still holds up. It is the throwback Ray Lewis jersey that my brother and his wife got me for Christmas one year. It's an all-white Ravens jersey, purple lettering. Where the shield is on the newer Ravens jerseys, it's the winged raven, and that top of the line. But my jersey collection has expanded. I have a bunch more Kobe Bryant jerseys. I have a Jordan jersey. I have a couple LeBrons, Ravens. I'm probably going to be getting some more Ravens jerseys soon. We'll get into why that is a bit later in the episode. We were not speaking loud at all here, man. Like, hi, how you doing? It's like trying to ask a girl out on a date, man, when you're nervous as shit. The Washington football team. How sorry to any of my Washington fans, but how did y'all downgrade the name to Commanders? You know what I think of when I hear Commanders? And I know one of our subscribers, if not more, is a Commanders fan. So, Brian, if you're watching, sorry, my dude, but Great Value Patriots is what that reminds me of. Also, shout out to you for subscribing. Yeah, we stole one from the Titans. I was happy about that, man. Like, that rivalry's coming back. For those of you that don't know, the Ravens and Titans used to have a rivalry back in the Ray Lewis, Eddie George days. That seems to have been renewed. And you love to see it, man. The other thing I didn't like about this episode, which one of our very first subscribers, Marlo P, shout out Marlo P if you're watching. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. They had mentioned that the dog kept barking in the background and it was ruining, like, I almost tried to ruin it. It did throw off the vibe, man. Like, I'm just sitting there with Jalen the whole time and I'm like, will this dog shut the hell up? But, you know, it happens. The dog was out in the cold, so I understand it looking back on it. And I do like that comparison that co-host Jalen made. He said that at the time of this recording that the Lamar Mahomes would be one of the next coming of Brady, Peyton Manning. Not saying they'll be on their level, but that rivalry will be at that level. Like, it's a mutual respect thing and whatnot. Also, my hat, my beanie, I've gotten a lot better with my hat game, but my beanie is sitting like sideways. Like the Ravens looking at y'all like, what you gonna do about it? I will also tell y'all, jersey regret. Y'all want to take a wild guess? I'm a Ravens fan. Earl Thomas. I have a Ravens Earl Thomas jersey. And the thing that's funny about that is I was in Maryland visiting for my cousin's high school graduation. And I went with my dad and I was like, yo, Pops, you think we can hit a store real quick? I want to get a jersey while I'm up here. Saw the Earl Thomas jersey, was like, yep, this is going to be cool. Man got cut from the team a year later. But also, shout out Earl Thomas, because the year he was on our team, I won fantasy football, our fantasy football league. My name is Earl was the name. I always come up with those creative names. But we will be doing a fantasy football episode as well. I think I'm going to do a live. I want to do that live just to get like genuine reactions. But yeah, let's jump into another episode of the WhattaPlay Podcast. Also, I'm going to be shouting out some more people here. Bellalina, shout out to you. Known her since high school. She subscribed. She a Packers fan. I like the Packers too, so we got that in common. But here's my plea for you. Come to the Lakers. You've been saying you want a basketball team. Look at these cool... Look, I got this cool Lakers hat. Like, do I need to pitch them anymore? In all honesty, I don't care who she picks for her basketball team as long as it's not the Celtics, man, to be honest. Anyways, let's get into another episode that because I get to run the show tonight, so I get to decide everything. Yes, here's a good one. Here's a good one right here. The first ever... I do apologize for looking down, but I have to look at my screen. I lose focus too easily. the first ever technical WhattaSpeacial. So this right here is not my swag. This is the WhattaPlay mock draft version 1. As you can see, co-host Jalen is wearing the black DeAndre Hopkins jersey. I'm rocking the black Lamar Jackson jersey. The thing about this episode right here, I had just gotten back from vacation on this one. I was dog shit tired, if I'm being completely honest with y'all. But, you know, I'm all big about putting out content, making sure y'all have some good content and whatnot. And yeah, we correctly predicted. I know on this episode we had some technical difficulties recording this. And not much has changed. Here we are a year later, and we still have technical difficulties from time to time. I know me and co-host Jalen had tried to record something for y'all Thursday or Wednesday night, and we did like 4 takes, and I finally was like, listen, man, it's late. We'll just record this at another day. So yeah, that's gonna be Sunday's episode. As you can see, we also pull out jerseys from time to time. Today, I just wanted to keep it simple since it's just me. I'm wearing the Lakers hat because it is the NBA draft, but we're going to save that for Sunday's episode. We'll talk some more about that on that episode. But yeah, co-host Jalen, he's busted out the Mighty Ducks. I forget the name of the player. I didn't really follow that closely. I don't really follow hockey like that and whatnot. He's pulled out that jersey before. I've mentioned the white Ray Lewis jersey that I have. You've also seen me pull out the Mamba jersey for Kobe. You'll see me pull out NFL jerseys when it comes draft time. You've even seen me pull out the throwback Cal Ripken. So we both got some heat when it comes to our jersey collection. I think this episode right here, yeah, this one is sitting at 17 likes. So it's one of our better episodes. It has 87 views. You know, the views can always go up. They fluctuate. I'm not really tripping about that. This video is a year old. The funny thing about this episode, though, this was filmed in my garage in the first of the 3 locations we have used so far for the WhattaPlay podcast. This location, like this area where I stay at now, is going to be the WhattaPlay location for recording the podcast going forth. Not necessarily this room, but like the Outback. Unless y'all like this setup better, let me know, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, sidetracked. Yeah, ADHD will do that to you. Funny thing about this episode, we nailed the first 2 mock picks, which wasn't hard to do because everybody in their mama knew that Trevor Lawrence was going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Zach Wilson, a lot of people knew he was going to the New York Jets. Where I messed up, and co-host Jalen had this, because he mentioned Trey Lance, and that is who the 49ers ended up taking. But me, wanting to be one-up people and thinking I knew stuff, had the 49ers selecting Mac Jones, which we all know Mac Jones fell to the Patriots. I will say what I like about this mock draft compared to the one we did this year. This was a lot more detailed. This is a lot more planned out. I'm not saying this year's episode wasn't planned out, because it was just more rushed. But anywho, I digress. I did not go live, but that is something I want to do. As far as like the WhattaPlay Twitter page goes, I want to start hosting like spaces to talk about certain things. Also, I do want to cover this on tonight's episode because I don't think me and co-host Jalen are going to be able to cover it on Sunday's episode. The Manon name, Yes, that name, Peyton, Eli, Archie. Yeah, I think I have that right. You know, that name's back in the news because a certain nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning has went public and announced that he is committing to the University of Texas. Obviously, I'm staying in Texas. I'm very familiar with UT. They've produced some Ravens players such as Justin Tucker, Devin Duvernay. I want to say, I know he plays for the Lions now, but Deshaun Elliott. So I think it's a good move for them. I think it's going to bring some relevancy back to the Texas football program. There are 3 things that Texas does well. That's barbecue, music, football. That's the trinity right there. Anywho, this episode, I do like the location we used. The garage was like my favorite. Actually, scratch that. The island that I had in the previous house I was staying in was my favorite to use for recording. And I will show you an episode with that. But before we get into that, I also want to give a shout out to my boy Joel. His YouTube channel is Hip Hop Ain't Dead. Been a subscriber since day one. I appreciate it, man. I know when we were kids, we had our differences and stuff. That's all in the past, though, you know. Us Maryland boys, we're hot-headed as hell. But, you know, he's always commenting. He's always being supportive and whatnot. So I want to take a look at the one baseball episode we did as well, which was the episode right before the mock draft one. And the funny thing about this episode, you can see I kind of changed the chairs. Did I take my mom's dining room chairs and use them to look more professional? I plead the fifth. But yeah, we did like the walk-up intros and whatnot. Funny thing about this, wait until y'all see what I used for my walk-up intro. That man's always trying to roast me, but I'm always trying to roast him too, so. This man called me a damn country singer. I don't even listen to country like that, bro. And he used my middle name. It's common knowledge at this point. Did I use... that's enough of that. Did I use the Big and Chunky Moto Moto song for my walk-up song on this episode? You bet your damn ass I did. I like to get a laugh. I like to make people laugh. It's what I do. I'm something of a comedian myself. But yeah, this one... 58 views, so not too much. This is when I was just getting into like YouTube. I didn't really know how to navigate it and whatnot. But I want to give a shout out to my brother, Ryan. He is the guy who created the WhattaPlay logo. It is not a bad logo, but it is kind of basic. I know I had mentioned something on the WhattaPlay page about dropping merch. I do have somebody in mind about talking to with that. We just need to come up with a logo before I can start designing merch and stuff. But yeah, we're going to have a merch drop, hopefully. I can't give you an exact date, but that should be on the way, so stay on the lookout for that. And also, I want to give a shout out to the Ballhawks podcast. One of them's a Ravens fan. The other guy's a Seahawks fan. I got no issue with either of them teams. I do like one better than the other. Obviously, I'm a Ravens fan, so what are you gonna do? But Shout out to both of those guys. They are killing it over on their channel. So y'all definitely give them a subscribe. They're putting out great content all the time. I don't know what I was thinking with this episode, but this is the one I mentioned where co-host Jalen has the Mighty Ducks jersey and I have the Ray Lewis one. I thought the brick wall in the old house I was at looked good. I'm sick of Bama being national champions, man. I'm sorry. And there's the dog again. But cool thing about this episode, it does sit at 20 likes. It has 116 views. And then my brother was an asshole. My brother Ryan. Because he commented, "Go Bills." And for those of you that recall what happened, the Bills absolutely destroyed the shit out of my Ravens last year. I got no hate for the Bills. I actually respect them. I respect Josh Allen. I respect, hell, Diggs went to the University of Maryland, so hard not to root for the guy. And it is funny thinking about it because his brother plays for the Cowboys. So here's another episode we did. This one was after I took like a hiatus. You know, my mental health wasn't doing the best. That is something I know not everybody wants to hear about it, but that is something I will always preach. I'm going to be big on mental health because, you know, I went through a very rough patch in my life last year. We're not going to get into all that because that's been covered on previous episodes. I am doing a lot better now. I still have my days, as does everybody, but yeah. And for anybody struggling right now, I just want to let you know, this may not mean much coming from me, but I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you're still kicking it and you're still fighting. And yeah, definitely keep pushing. Anyways, co-host Jalen here tried to take some 90s swag and had the jersey backwards like a crisscross. But this man did not get my reference. And yeah, believe it or not, also, this man did not get my Nelly reference, which I was highly disappointed in. Believe it or not, also, speaking of the jerseys, I wear other Lakers jerseys besides just Kobe. And yes, I do make those jokes pretty frequently as well. I also want to shout out my family. Not a lot of them are subscribed. Some of them are subscribed to this podcast. I know my cousin, my sister, I think one of my other cousins, but my aunts, my mom, she'll share like the podcast and stuff whenever I post it to other social media platforms. So I greatly appreciate that. It's much appreciated. And in this episode, this one has 19 likes, so this is one. We talked about the MLB All-Star Game, whether marijuana should have been tested in the world of sports, which I'll tell you right now, it shouldn't. Like, Josh Gordon shouldn't have been suspended for as long as he was because of that. If the only thing he was smoking was weed, there are far worse, harder drugs out there than a little bit of, a little bit of the devil's lettuce, as some like to call it. This one, I would say, is probably in my top 5. Not the finals preview that I just showed you, but this one right here. This was our NCAA preview from last year. And yes, we will be doing another NCAA/college preview As you can see, I've played for the Orioles, LSU, and the University of Maryland, apparently, in the WhattaPlay universe, so...
Your 2022 Heisman winner, Derek M. Left tackle. Yeah, they let a tackle win.
We all know they would never let a tackle win. But yeah, as you can see right here, shout out to our boy Isaiah. We've been trying to get him on the podcast for a minute. You know, work schedule's kind of hectic, especially since the guy works with me now. So we got to figure out schedules and whatnot. And once that happens, then we'll get him on. I've talked to my boy Joel that I mentioned. I want to get him on. There's some other guys I work with that have talked about coming on. And yeah, cool thing about this though, the reason I said shout out Isaiah, because he got us these jerseys that we're wearing in this episode for Christmas one year. Co-host Jalen obviously is rocking the Oregon Justin Herbert jersey. I am rocking the Leonard Fournette purple jersey. And I will say, this is the thing I love about sports, man, is no matter how slow you think a sports day is going, there's always something to talk about. That's why this podcast continues to put out content. We're not going to throw something in your face like every day, because I get being overwhelmed with content and I don't want y'all to get annoyed with us. But yes, this is one of my favorite episodes. And as you can see, we improved a lot from that first episode. We actually had a laptop that we were using. We had the mic, same mic that I'm using now. I think we also discussed if college athletes should have been able to be paid, which I've always been on the side of yes, college athletes deserve to get paid. They put their body, their life, not their life, in a sense, you get what I'm trying to say, but they put their body, they risk injury. Yeah, they're getting an education, so you can make the argument, oh, well, they're getting an education. I don't think an education's gonna do much if a guy, you know, knock on wood, but if he tears his ACL or his meniscus or something, that ain't gonna do shit. So yeah, I'm in the realm of college athletes deserve to be paid. Let me know what y'all think about that.
Off their likeness. Let's see, probably further back than this, but you remember when the old classic NCAA 14 came out? One of the best college football games. Yes, I do have my regrets that all that with the players, gentlemen, NCAA 14, because as we all know, I want to brand.
Also, co-host Jalen, watching this back, if we can find a copy of NCAA 14, run it, because I want to see how that would turn out. I got a 360 right here, man. We can run it, we can stream that on the WhattaPlay channel, and we can have that for the audience. So if you're down, we'll talk Sunday. Yeah, see? Co-host Jalen stayed ducking. He stayed ducking. We gonna set that up, though. I'd be interested to see how that goes.
Go back to Reggie Bush. He was kind of one of the main benefactors of college athletes getting.
Also, give Reggie Bush his damn Heisman back. Yes, he got paid under the table, but y'all made a lot of money off the damn man. Give the man his damn Heisman back.
But yeah, so just cut me off for what you're speaking. Not Kanye. That said, the likeness, the jersey numbers and names that should have been able to go on those athletes' jerseys, they would have got paid for that.
Also, I want to give some more shout outs, because that's what we do here at the WhattaPlay Podcast, to two of the guys who have helped this podcast Also, our Twitter channel, or our Twitter page for the WhattaPlay Podcast, and my personal Twitter page grow. I'm always listening in. I'm always, taking their advice and what they say. So shout out Spoon of Zeke and shout out Saged Up. I believe his full name is Saged Alvarez, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all should definitely follow them on Twitter. Follow them here. Zeke, I know he does have a YouTube page that shows you how to grow and how to promote your Twitter channel. So if I can, I will link that below. And Sage, he's always posting what podcast should we listen today, always asking questions. I stay in the spaces that they both host. I'm always talking. I'm always trying to learn. I look up to those guys in a sense. So yeah, shout out to both of y'all. Y'all have taught me a lot in the year and a half that this podcast has been going. So for that, I appreciate y'all. And another video that I want to cover today, because I want to show you the good and the bad. This podcast isn't perfect. So here is the bad of the podcast stuff. So the thing about this episode is I was going through said rough patch that I told you about. I was staying at my grandmother's house. I didn't think we were going to be able to record the podcast, but luckily we were able to record it. And, for that, I am thankful. And y'all give me just a second. I am a bit thirsty, so I'm not trying to get out of frame. You know what? That's not going to work. So, yeah. Cool thing about this, though, we were able to record. This was like the NFL stand-ins at the time, college football. I did have them dope-ass Maryland flag shorts. I need to see if I can get those in, just regular, athletic shorts. Because the board shorts, they're cool and all, but I use those for a vacation I went on, and I don't really bust them out too much these days. But yeah, we be coming up with intros and stuff, though. And our intros are always funny and stuff, man. I do appreciate the advice I got from somebody. Back in the day, they had told me, they were like, hey, you probably shouldn't be monotone when you're recording stuff. Just be yourself. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm being myself. I'm talking to y'all as if I would be talking to one of my friends or vice versa. Y'all give me just a second. I am extremely thirsty, so. But anyways, how are y'all doing? I'm going to be back in. Look, I wasn't all the way out of frame. I did it. I got my drink. But yes, cool thing about that is I took that advice. I was like, I could either ignore them or I could take what they said to heart, and I did. So, also, shout out Adam Rayner, if I'm not mistaken. That is a gentleman I see all the time in Sage and Zeke's Twitter spaces. I see him on Twitter all the time. Also, shout out to the Real Fresh channel. Just because I'm shouting these people out does not mean future y'all won't get a shout out in the future. These are just some of the people that, have been here or mean something. Y'all all mean something to the channel, so let me not say that. But these are just the names that were easy for me to remember. I'm definitely appreciative and love each and every one of y'all that have subscribed to this channel and have followed us along on this journey. It means a lot to me, and co-host Jalen may not show it. He doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve, but it means a lot to him as well. Now, the next step is to get sponsors. So here's the thing. Slim Jim, Manscaped, Whataburger, and there's one other company that I'm blanking on. I have shot my shot with y'all and have heard nothing. Give us some dang sponsorships. Also, shout out Shaheen TV. Yep, I said that correctly. Shaheen TV. He's taught me a lot about how to, utilize YouTube, how to add certain tags so you get more views, how to add tags that are relevant to what you're talking about. So for that, I'm going to be forever grateful. Turn it up, B. Appreciate your subscription as well. So yeah, I've shown y'all the good, the bad. I want to show y'all that island I'm talking about though, because that is one of my favorite places to record. This man wore Penguins jerseys in back-to-back podcast episodes, and I'm just now noticing that. I had no room to be talking there, man. I'm a big dude, I know it, but this is the island I was. Let me get this into full screen. Hey. Just switched episodes on me, man. And then, yeah, in this episode, we talked about the playoffs from the 2021 season. We talked about the 2020 Hall of Fame. Shout out everybody who made that class. Shout out my man, Kobe, favorite basketball player of all time, man. So, the way he went out, man, it's just tragic. I remember co-host Jalen is actually the one who broke that news to me, and he'll forever be in my good graces because he did something, when that first happened. There was a mural. I can't say the word mural correct, but there was one out in the Austin area, and he took me to see that, and it was a beautiful painting of Kobe and his daughter, Gianna Bryant, and, that just means a lot to me, man. And there were like newspapers and basketballs with like scripts, like notes written to Kobe on there. And if I ever get the chance to go back, I'll probably do something along those lines. But yeah, the favorite setup, you see, we had like a desk type thing going with the island. So my mom's actually the one who came up with that idea. She was like, we have an island in the kitchen. Why don't y'all use that? And I was like, huh? But yeah, we decided to use the island, and I had no regrets about that. This man was over here drinking Starbucks. I was drinking water. I need to get better at drinking water on the podcast again. I drink you'll see me drink soda, tea. I need to do more of a water intake. I do drink water, I drink 4 bottles of work. I drink 4 bottles of water at work. Any of my coworkers can attest for that. Also, shout out Jessup. I know he subscribed. He's our resident Eagles fan, so yeah. So yeah, now that I showed y'all that, I'm trying to see if we had any other. We did. How could I forget? this episode right here, where we took inspiration from the first episode of the WhattaPlay podcast with the sky in the background. And shout out my hat game, man. Like, y'all see I'm rocking the Lakers fitted. The Lakers fitted with the, where's it at? The 1987 finals patch. Right here, I'm rocking the bubblegum blue and pink Super Bowl 47 patch Baltimore Ravens hat. I get compliments on my hats all the time, man. It doesn't matter if I'm out, if I'm at work, you know, if I'm doing the dishes. But yeah, here we covered Hollywood Brown getting traded, so that happened. We'll see what he can do as wide receiver 1 for the time being, because as y'all know, DeAndre Hopkins has been suspended. And then we talked about the playoffs for this year. I talked about the Lakers head coach. And then we recorded a WrestleMania Backlash portion. And I want to not wrap up the episode, but I want to wrap up the viewing portion with what our last episode was. So this is episode 25. This is the last one that we recorded together. You can see we have gotten a lot better. This is the location I'm currently in. And yeah, so we always use like decorations and stuff. I do apologize for having the laptop down. We always use like, look at that jersey, man. The Mamba jersey right there. It's tough. It is tough. This episode, you know, what did we discuss here? Oh, this was your NBA Finals preview. So we all know how, I'm not going to get into it because we're covering that Sunday after I get off work. That's when your finals wrap up, end of season, NBA draft thoughts. That episode will be episode 27. So shout out the Real Fresh channel. Shout out Riley, which is one of my brothers, consider him a brother. And shout out one of our newer subscribers. And forgive me if I'm butchering your name. I'm not good with pronunciation. Blythe Maine, subbed from Shaim TV. So if you didn't figure it out from now on, me and Shy, we kind of, yeah. But yeah, y'all go sub to Shaim TV's channel. He's always putting out killer content. If you like basketball, you wouldn't want to miss it. And he's always doing giveaways and stuff as well. So that said, I think I've covered all the episodes that I wanted to cover. And like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you that have subscribed to the WhattaPlay podcast. I thank y'all for joining us on this journey. That goes for any of my coworkers that have subscribed. That goes for anybody that I've talked to and that's come into my place of work and I've been like, hey, I have a podcast, and they're like, really, what's the channel? I tell them, they subscribe, I subscribe back. It means a lot to me, man. It really does. And, you know, me and co-host Jalen, we're going to be putting more work into this. I told him, same way he told me last year, we can't be taking like month-long breaks, because if we're trying to get sponsorships, if we're trying to grow the channel, people aren't going to want to stick with that if we're like, hey, I'm going to take like 3 months off and forget about you for a while. No, it doesn't work like that. So we do have some content coming up. I have some ideas. I got a baseball one in mind. I have we always do the NFL season preview. We'll do the NCAA season preview. We'll do the fantasy football one. And if y'all have any other ideas for podcasts or what we should talk about, I'm all ears, man. Definitely going to be doing a wrestling one. like, I want to do like a standalone wrestling one. And I know some people that follow this podcast that would be more than happy to be on that episode. But even if we don't do the standalone, we'll do like sections of it like usual. Anyways, on to some PSAs. It is extremely hot. Hydrate before you digerate, as I like to say. And on a drink plenty of water, get plenty of rest, take care of your chickens and your mentals. And on a more somber note, I do want to say there was, give me just a second because I'm blanking on the name right now. So this has been a week of deaths, unfortunately. Caleb Swanigan died at the age of 25. And it is crazy to think that that man was the same age as me. And he was a former player for the Blazers and Purdue. So you definitely want to keep him in your thoughts, prayers if you do that sort of thing. And then on an even somber note, or more somber, I don't know how it could get more uplifting than after that. Baltimore Ravens outside linebacker Jalen Ferguson had unfortunately passed away the other day at the age of 26. The cause of his death is unknown at this time of recording. So, you know, I've seen some people speculate on Twitter and whatnot, but we're not going to do that here. All I'm going to say is rest in peace, Jalen Ferguson. You were gone way too soon, man. His teammates raved about how he was looking to be in the best shape of his life, but I know I've read some things that said he may have battled with depression, and I'll tell you right now, depression is no joke, man. And then also rest in peace to former Super Bowl 35 champion Tony Siragusa, aka Goose. The Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens are mourning the loss of Tony Siragusa. I know he didn't always have the best reputation, but I saw this touching thing by one of my former favorite Ravens wide receivers, Brandon Stokely, where it said he came in to the league as a rookie and Siragusa wasn't very nice to him, but that was until Stokely made the team, and then from that point forward, sorry, I'm getting a little emotional here. From that point forward, Stokely had Siragusa's respect. So I'll always have love for Goose because he won us our first Super Bowl. Obviously, I was not watching football at that time. I didn't get into the game until 2011 when the Ravens broke my heart by missing a wide open touchdown, and then Billy Cundiff. Billy Cundiff. But it's okay. It's okay. We have Justin Tucker now. But yes, may both of them rest in peace. And also, on a happier note, I did say for this channel, when we reached 200 subs, we would be doing a giveaway. I'm assuming y'all would like to see what the giveaway gift is going to be. All right, so right here, I'm going to put my mic down for a second. The winner of the 200, once we hit 200 subs, because we're coming in fierce, we're putting out more content, will win, drum roll please, this Kobe Bryant poster. The cool thing about this poster, and I'm showing y'all right now, it shows all the jerseys this man has worn in his career. So yes, once we hit 200 subs, everybody who is already subbed is entered into the giveaway for this bad boy right now. Those of you that sub will also be entered, and we will pick at random who is going to win this beautiful, amazing Kobe Bryant jersey poster. So that said, I think we are going to be wrapping up here with the no, we're not. Question. Fun segment / question of the night. What is y'all's favorite episode of the WhattaPlay podcast? Mine, personally, I'd have to say is the pilot episode, just because that is what started all of this. So that said, drop below in the comments what your favorite episode of the WhattaPlay podcast has been so far. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we will see y'all next time. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love and appreciate the support, and stay tuned for more content that we'll be putting out. Okay? Y'all stay safe. Love you. Bye.